Welcome back. A new report released just moments ago shows the tremendous impact and growing importance of the U.S. Latino community in the U.S. economy. The 2023 official Latino Donor Collaborative U.S. Latino GDP report provides a comprehensive view of the Latino community's impact on both the national and state level economies. And here's one of the key findings. U.S. Latinos are generating an incredible $3.2 trillion in GDP overall. That places the U.S. Latino economy as the fifth largest in the world, surpassing the economies of India, the United Kingdom, and France. Joining us now to dig into these numbers, co-founder and chairman of the board at Latino Donor Collaborative, Saul Trujillo. Saul, thanks for being on this morning. Before we get into some of the charts and the specifics on this, what are some of the other key takeaways that you found in this report?
Well, I think there's two pieces. One is the numbers that you talked about, which, you know, I think in the United States, we don't really recognize that the Latino cohort is now driving 20% of all of our GDP growth in the country. Okay, that's number one. And it's only going to get bigger because the youthfulness of the cohort, meaning with a heavy concentration of 11 to 14 years old, there's 1 million young people that are turning 18 every year. So it's going to only grow for the next 30 or 40 years. So the U.S. is going to be buoyed economically by this cohort. And most people don't talk about it, don't realize it, don't understand it, which is why we do the report. And the second part is, as you look at the other data in there regarding states, and each of the individual states and the impact that the Latino cohort is having on population growth, but more importantly, economic growth, labor force growth rate, because you can't grow an economy without growing labor force growth. And so when you look at Florida, you look at Texas, but you can look at North Dakota, they're all growing.
And if we can also look at what the report found in terms of U.S. Latinos and income and purchasing power, and what the results you found there mean.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that say, you know, this generation is going to be inadequate for competing in this next technology kind of world that we're in. And the data would say that the Latino cohort, their educational growth and attainment now is exceeding those of every other cohort in terms of growth rates. And then secondly, in terms of income, this cohort now has the highest income growth of any cohort in the United States. So educational attainment is now leading to income growth. And the youthfulness is what's going to be big, because it's 65 million people today, but just based on birth rates, not immigration, on birth rates, it's going to grow to 100 million people, which will means it's going to help buoy those of us that are baby boomers. I'm a baby boomer. As people go into Social Security and all the things that are running out of support, well, we have another wave of growth that's here, but we have to feed it. And the one big message I'm trying to deliver is, let's understand it, but we have to feed it in terms of policies and capital. I'm a capitalist, so I believe in, you know, capital should flow there, and less than 1% of all invested capital as of a year ago does not, or less than 1% flows into the cohort when it's creating so much growth. It doesn't make sense if you believe in a capitalist system.
Just as we close, another thing that the report found is Latinos play a significant role in bolstering the U.S. economy, population growth, workforce participation, increased productivity linked to educational attainment, economic power, also leading to political power. It's a fascinating report. Co-founder and chairman of the board at Latino Donor Collaborative, Saul Trujillo, thank you very much for being on this morning. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right.